The next time you need a non-alcoholic drink idea, you should try this Margarita Mocktail. This mock cocktail has the sweet and tangy flavor of the traditional version, only it's made without tequila. Today, I'll show you a few different easy ways you can make it. My favorite way to make this Margarita Mocktail recipe is by preparing a quick simple syrup. I'm using agave nectar to make this version because tequila comes from the agave plant, so that seemed appropriate in this case. But you can also use honey as the sweetener if you prefer. In a small saucepan, add a half cup of the agave nectar, along with 1 cup of water, and the zest of 1 large orange. Or if you have smaller oranges, you can use the zest of 2 or 3 of those. When zesting an orange, make sure you're only getting the orange peel and not the white part underneath to avoid a bitter flavor. I'm using a microplane to do this, and I've learned that holding it upside down on top of the fruit like this is easier for holding on to all of that zest. Now bring the liquid to a boil over high heat. Once it's boiling, set a timer for 1 minute. Your kitchen should start to smell like oranges as it cooks. When the timer goes off, turn off the heat and set the pot aside to cool for 1 hour. This will let the orange flavor infuse into the simple syrup. This will be your non-alcoholic substitute for the orange liqueur that margaritas often call for. When the simple syrup is cool, you can strain out the orange zest using a fine mesh strainer. Use the back of a spoon to press out all of that orange flavor. Now that the simple syrup is ready, it's time to make your mocktail. If you'd like a salted rim, start by swiping a lime wedge around the top of a serving glass. Now dip it into a small plate of coarse sea salt and shake off any excess. Into the prepared glass, add 3 tablespoons of fresh lime juice, which is roughly the amount of juice you'll get from 1½ limes. Next, add 2 to 3 tablespoons of the orange simple syrup, depending on how sweet you'd like your drink to be. I usually use 3 tablespoons for a classic margarita flavor. Top it off with some lime-flavored sparkling water, or you can use regular club soda if you prefer. I usually use about a ½ cup to 3/4 of a cup of the sparkling water, but you can also just eyeball this as you pour it into the glass. Top it off with ice and garnish with a lime slice. Then it's ready to serve right away. If you prefer more orange flavor in your margarita, you can also squeeze some fresh orange juice into your glass. This drink is easy to taste and customize as you go. If you prefer a spicy margarita, add 2 to 3 slices of fresh jalapeno to the bottom of your glass and let it marinate briefly in the lime juice. Just 1 to 2 minutes is enough for the spicy flavor to start to develop, but the longer you let them rest, the spicier your drink will be. Then top it off with the simple syrup and sparkling water for a lightly sweet and spicy drink. I'm pretty sure this version is my favorite. So good. If you want to skip making the simple syrup altogether, you can make a simpler margarita by combining 3 tablespoons of fresh lime juice, 2 tablespoons of fresh orange juice, and roughly 1 teaspoon of agave nectar for added sweetness. Top it off with the lime-flavored sparkling water and it's ready to drink in no time. And if you prefer a frozen drink, I'll also show you how to make a blended margarita mocktail. For the frozen version, you'll need to make a large enough batch that your blender can run efficiently. So I'm going to share the smallest batch that I think you can make. To make 2 to 3 servings, start with a 1/3 cup of lime juice, a 1/4 cup of orange juice, 3 tablespoons of agave nectar, and 1 cup of lime-flavored sparkling water. Then add 2 cups of ice cubes. Secure the lid on your blender and blend until the ice is pulverized and the drink has a slushy texture. Then it's ready to serve right away. If you have leftover simple syrup, you can store that in the fridge for up to 2 weeks. It's a delicious addition to oatmeal or chia pudding if you need other ways to use it up. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out my others for more.